Hi, babies. It's the even more fabulous Dr. Mother Love coming at you live and in living color with this guy who is live and in living color with me. This is Mr. Kennedy. I am Dr. Mother Love, and we got some stuff to talk about today. It's always something going on. Okay, let's start with the Menendez brothers.
Okay.
The Menendez brothers, Lyle and Erik. This was one of the big things that happened when I first came out here to California in 1989. And these two young men came from a very wealthy family. Jose and Kitty Menendez. I mean, he was running things, big time guy in the community, all politics and everything, living a life that we would think living the life of luxury. Okay, nonetheless, these young men came into their parents' house and they stopped and they bought weapons, shotguns, and they loaded them up and they came in the house and they shot the father dead. And then they shot the mother dead. And then after both of their parents were killed, they went on a shopping spree. They didn't seem like they were mourning them or anything. They went on a shopping spree. Then they found out that, this is what was going on. And when they got busted, when they got arrested for first degree murder, means I plotted, I planned, I executed, and I move on. I'm going to buy me Rolex watches. I'm going to buy me a fancy car because this is what I deserve. So fast forward 35 plus years later, here we are in 2024, and they say some new evidence has come to light. Mark Garagos is their attorney now, and he says that some new information has come to light from one of the cousins who Lyle had wrote. One of them wrote a letter to their cousin and said how they were being sexually assaulted by their father. Then a young guy from the group Menudo came up forward and said, I was sexually assaulted in Jose Melendez's house as well. So with these two new pieces of evidence, the letter that he wrote to his cousin, and the fact that the young guy from Menudo came forward and said that he did the same thing to me. So now both sides of their families, Kitty's side, the mother, and Jose Menendez's family, his side, the father, they're saying they paid for their mistake and they should be not necessarily, no, they say they want to have them resentenced because they got sentenced for first degree murder, life without the possibility of parole. And help me try to understand what this means.
Well, exactly what that means is that now the district attorney, he's
Gaston.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to go before a judge and say, okay, we got new evidence involving this case here with the Menendez brothers, and that in light of the new evidence that is come forward, we would like to have they sentence changed. When I say change, as far as them not having to spend life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. So he wants to change the sentencing guidelines so that they'll be eligible for parole. And if they make them eligible for parole, then they will be released within the next 2 months. So they'll probably be home before the end of the year.
Okay.
I mean, if the recommend, because the judge has the final decision on whether or not to change their
resentencing.
See,
that's what I got confused on, because they were, throwing out Gascon as the district attorney for Los Angeles. They were tossing out we want the district attorney to look at this case again.
Well, he has to.
Okay. But is the final decision on the district attorney, or is the final decision on the judge who hears the case on the recommendation of Gascon?
It has to be the judge.
Okay.
Because all the district attorney does is just recommend. Okay, he said new evidence has come in. Now I would like to change the outcome. I would like to change how we sentence them. Okay, but the judge does not have to approve that. The judge that they're going before does not have to accept the new evidence and say, okay, this is enough compelling evidence that I'm willing to say, yes, you can change the guidelines of their sentencing. And
wonder how many people are sitting in prison now who could have this kind of procedure for them. You think it's because they got a big high powered name, to come back and say, okay, so this is what I want to understand. What the family and both sides of the family, they want the district attorney Gascon to say, okay, we got this new evidence.
Yeah.
Judge, I want you to look at this.
Yeah.
And it will be your decision to resentence
But
them.
without women, without the district attorney saying, okay, there's new evidence that has come in. And in light of the new evidence, in light of the new evidence, I'm going to make a sentencing change for these two.
I want to recommend the sentencing to the judge. Okay.
Okay, he said he wants to make a change, but he can't make the change unless the judge approves it.
Okay.
All he does is say, okay, I have evidence, and in the light of the new evidence, I'm willing to go back and revisit their case. And as the district attorney, he's saying, I want to go back and revisit their case. And after looking at the new evidence, I may recommend that they should be able to get out on parole.
They serve their purpose.
No,
they pay for their crime.
I mean, but in my opinion, I don't understand how they can overlook the fact that they killed their mother. Okay, no. Now, one thing for them to say that, okay, what the father was doing to them was wrong.
Okay,
maybe let me finish.
Go ahead.
What they were saying is that what the father was doing to them was wrong. And the fact that this evidence was not brought into the first trial is
that's why it was a hung jury.
Okay, well, that was the first trial. Okay, but the second trial, they was found guilty.
Yeah, a first-degree murder.
Because it was, wait a minute, it was first-degree murder. Whether you want to consider first-degree murder on the father or
manslaughter on the mother, because I remember them saying that they didn't want to kill it. They knew that their mother couldn't live with. They didn't know.
Wait a minute.
They didn't know what their mama could have lived through?
Well, first of all, now reality is the mother was living through them molesting the son. The father, her husband, molesting their sons.
So you believe that Miss Kitty knew what was going on?
Yes, I mean, there wasn't like anybody's ever said that she didn't know. Now, I would be totally shocked if someone says that the mother did not know what was going on. Yes, she did, because they were saying it was times when you knew that you couldn't go down the hallway when he had the sons.
One of the sons
with him. So the mother knew something was going on. And to say that, I can't say, because I don't know whether the one of the sons ever actually came to their mother and actually told them, their mother point blank, this is what dad is doing to us. Or doing to me. If he wanted to, didn't want to throw his brother under the bus, if he just wanted to admit what was happening to him, and came to his mother and said, okay, well, this is what dad is doing to me. The fact that we don't know that, at least, I mean, I'm not aware of that, whether they ever came. But what the point that I wanted to make is this, is that when the mother and the father were sitting in the living room watching TV, they came in the living room and they shot and killed the father first. Then they shot and killed the mother. And their reason why they said they killed the mother is because they said they didn't believe that she could live, through all this pain, with them killing their father and their father being the reason why they did this action. So they thought they chose for their mother, to make a decision for their mother.
That was not their right to choose.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It wasn't their right to choose that the mother should be, they said the mother couldn't live without the father. I mean,
how do you make that decision? In one breath, you're saying that these are kids and they're looking for a way out, and a kid made a decision to shoot and kill their father, and they shoot their mother because their logic is, well, she wouldn't be able to live with this, to know what was going on.
What happened? What happened in the family?
See, this as a mother, and coming from mothers and coming from aunties and grandmothers, they always knew what was going on in the family. Somebody was going to say something, and the secretiveness of it is what is the destruction of these kinds of situations with families. That, okay, no, I'm not going to, okay, yeah, you came to me and your father just having issues, or I don't believe you. Your father would never do anything to you like that. And say, I know what that's like. I know personally what's that like. What's that like when you go to somebody and you tell them, and they're either going to believe you or they're not going to believe you. And believing you is going to be the most detrimental thing, because it's going to disrupt the entire family. We're a wealthy family. Can't you just get over this? Look the other way. I know that your father is doing this to you, and I know it's a terrible thing, but just look at the life that we're living. You know, we have prestige. Do you want to just disrupt that because your father feels this way? That's the part that I don't get. That these women are in their homes with these husbands, and these husbands are doing things to their children, and they don't know. Okay, wait. I just want to ask this question. I
was going to ask the first.
Okay, wait. Let me just get it out. The football coach,
Penn State.
Okay.
Yes,
they knew, and they covered it up. They knew what these guys were doing. They knew. And what about the doctor that was sexually assaulting all these young men and women, these collegiate men and women with a whole life ahead of them? And then you want to dump this ugly on them, and they got to live with this for the rest of their life. And then you check out because I can't deal with it. Really?
Okay.
You don't know what's going on in your own house. Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Because you go on. I mean, you have to stop and take a breath. Okay, you're saying that. One, that the mother knew what the father was doing. Okay, sometimes you can know and not know all at the same time. And I say this,
that is such bullcorn. How can you know and not know? Okay. You either know it or you don't know it.
Okay, you can have suspicions of what is happening, and you can choose not to go any further.
So just stick your head in the sand.
Okay,
pretend to look the other way. It didn't happen.
A lot of people do that.
I know.
I mean, that's reality.
I know.
For better or for worse, a lot of people simply look the other way
and won't listen to what you have to say.
Not so much.
Oh no, they don't. Some of them don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You just shut up. Don't say anything. Why don't you just be quiet? You talk too much.
Well, once again, go ahead. It's based on each circumstance because everybody's circumstances is different. There's a million reasons why people turn a blind eye to what's going on. No,
I could get it down to 3.
Okay, the biggest thing is financially. Your own personal safety is 2. Your own security. No, wait a minute. Your security
and your standing in the community.
Well, I mean that, the fact that you look at
my reputation
is not only your reputation, but a lot of people, and this is not just one family. Mm-hmm. This is most families. How many families want their business out in the street? Women, very few of us do. And the fact that on
that note, as we were growing up, we're baby boomers, and we were taught explicitly, you don't go out in the street and tell anything about what happens inside this door. What happens here stays here. You don't go out there and be talking about our business.
And isn't that why a lot of abuse happen? Because wait a minute, if you keep,
they shame you in the quiet.
And as a child, you're always the victim because you have somebody older than you, somebody who's providing for you, taking care of you. If they're telling you, don't say anything, don't do harm, you're more apt to listen to them than you are to someone on the street. I mean, that's why most of these things happen for a long period of time with families with it not coming out and into the light. Because if you're told not to tell, I mean, because most of us are taught as kids, you don't tell what's going on in the house. That's not your job to do, your responsibility to tell what's happening inside these 4 walls once you come home. Now, if you raise up that way, and that is what you've been told all your life, it's hard to say, well, how could this go on for so long? I mean, the mother's no different than the kids. If you've been taught that you don't say things, that you don't do this. I mean,
and men just gonna do what they do, girl. Just be quiet. Okay, when he black your eye here, just get a porterhouse and put it on your face. Okay. Flashback, I'm listening.
Okay, but that's people that you know of. That's never happened to you. And the fact
I only got beat up by one man, a school teacher.
Okay, but that was not somebody that was living in your home. No.
But see, that's another thing. Abuse just doesn't happen in the home. These predators are out here on the playgrounds. They're in the schools. They lurking. They looking for who they can groom. Who's off to the side with them. Who's not anybody paying attention to them. They are predatory.
Okay, but wait, we're talking in the family. But if that's somebody on that women, that's a predator on the outside because you have predators on the outside and you have predators on the inside.
And didn't they just say in the Menendez brothers case that new evidence came to light from a young man who was in a group menudo? He's outside of the family.
Okay, but wait a minute.
He's outside of the family.
Yes, he is. But also, it's to me it's a bit strange that it took 35 years
for them.
Wait a minute, for this to come to light.
See, this.
I mean, now, then that's
what they say. Timing is everything.
Well, Gascon is in a tough re-election fight right now. I mean, and I mean, it's a shame to bring this up, but I mean, he's in a tough fight for re-election, and him doing something that will bring favor to him just before. I mean, it's coincidental. It comes up in October, and the election is next month. 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks.
We're like 19 days and counting.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, is this more to help him get reelected? Because all of a sudden he's showing, oh, look, I do care about people. One of the problems that we've had with Gascon that most people didn't like about him,
soft on crime.
That he was soft on crime, and that he didn't care about the victim as much as he cared about the perpetrators who were doing the crime. Okay, this makes him look really good at the 11th hour. They say, well, oh, okay, well, I'll relook at this case about the Menendez brothers.
Did he just make up a word? Relook that.
Well, he wanted to relook at the case. Oh, he said, I'm
going to take a second look. Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. All the prosecutors before him was asked the same thing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he was the first person they ever asked to, let them out.
Mm-hmm.
So the other prosecutors before him turned them down. Why does Gascon decide to,
bring light to this?
To look at this, and it's just coincidental that you bring light to it just before the election. Now, so that's what I find sketchy about it is that the timing of it. Mm-hmm. Because what the families on both sides is saying that women. Now, if they knew about this, women. If they knew that this is what the father was doing mm-hmm. to the son mm-hmm. and had been doing this,
for years.
Okay, now, but when it came time to go to court, none of y'all went in. See now,
that's what looked raggedy to me.
Well, see now,
it looks raggedy to me that you would wait in an election cycle to bring this up. Now these cats have been in prison for 35 years, and we've been out here in California for 35 years. This their case. And the young lady that was murdered that came out here to look at her fortune from Mocha Mindy, the guy came up to her, shot her dead because he was obsessed with her, and changed the law so you don't just give out people's driver's license and stalking.
Okay, but
and then it was that one, and then it was another one.
Okay, but back to them. Okay, now. You had
it was the O.J. Simpson trial. All of this crazy was going on.
But with O.J. Simpson trial, wait a minute, he was found not guilty, so he could never be retried.
Not for that.
Okay, these young men here. Wait a minute. There's no question. Wait a minute. There's no question about
whether if they're guilty,
whether or not they killed their parents.
Mm-hmm. But one should be first degree murder and one could be manslaughter.
Yeah, because wait a minute, according to them, because you only can go by them because both of the parents are dead, so
mm-hmm.
you can't ask them. But what they're saying is that they killed their father because out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
That he would never let them leave. That if they tried to leave, he would track them down. I mean, that takes. I mean, I can't say that they could not have been in that kind of fear because if you're not going through something that like what they were going through, and I've been going through this for years,
and that's what bullies do. They keep you fearful.
But this is. Not just being a bully, but this is your father. It's right. Not. I mean, it's not just some stranger.
Right.
And you said, okay, well, this
these
stranger
are the people who are supposed to love me in spite of.
Okay, but and they women. So do you know that how did he treat them when he wasn't doing these bad things to them? When they really treated really good. The other family members was envious of their family and what their wealth and their position. The fact that they come out now and say, well, this is things that was known for years. Okay, even though they were known for years, but nobody tried to get the sons away. Wait a minute, if it was known for years, and nobody said, okay, well, come on, come stay with us. No. Why are you concerned about the money? Wait a minute. The biggest reason why they didn't leave,
and because of the lifestyle and the fear.
Okay, wait a minute. See, it's easy to throw fear in there, but you wait a minute, because they're saying. No, they stayed there because of the lifestyle, and they feared that if they left, some harm would come to them. Okay, now everybody
So that's
has to
not
believe.
fear.
Okay, wait a minute. We all have to believe now that they were so fearful about leaving that they would stay there and continue to be molested because it was better to stay there and this to keep happening
and have a decent life or whatever.
Just get up and leave. And if you have to start from scratch, like millions of
They
people
were
have
like
done.
really young at the time.
Okay, I'm talking about they killed them. How old were they when they actually?
35, 45, 55. They had to be in their early 20s.
Okay, and they've
been in jail.
Yes.
They've been in, and they knew that.
Okay, wait a minute. So it happened in the early 20s, which meant that you weren't 18. Once you turn 18.
Okay, just because you turn 18 years old does not make you an automatic. I know everything as an adult.
Whether it makes you automatically know everything or not, it doesn't change the fact that when they turn 18,
children.
Once again, now you can always be a victim, or you can get up and do something about it. Once you turn 18, they could have left and never look back again at their parents, and never. They could have went out there.
But how do I have access to $14 million in a fortune if I go away? No, I want $14 million.
So now, how much of this is fear, or how much of this is greed? And the reason why they and the reason why
fear and greed,
and the reason why they got convicted is because the district attorney, when they were being prosecuted, talked about
their greed. Second trial.
Yes, the second trial. And the first trial too. The first trial, even though it was a hung jury, they retried them because the prosecutor was saying, if you had so much fear, you had ample time every single day, every single morning you woke up, you could have left. You stayed there because once you killed them, then you went on a spending spree. So you was in that much fear, but as soon as your parents died, you went out and started buying Rolex watches, you bought cars. You went outside women. So now I'm having a great life. I mean, it's a tragic story on all the way around that they were being abused by their father, and the fact that their mother didn't step in and save them. That they not only did they kill their father, but then they killed their mother because they said she couldn't live. She couldn't keep living without the father. I mean, what if the father, God forbid, the father had a heart attack or got hit by a car or any tragedy could have bestowed him.
Befell on him
besides them being murdered by his son. Would the mother would have committed? You're saying the mother would have committed suicide?
You don't know what she did.
I mean, the likelihood that the mother would have committed suicide is slim to none. I mean, because people. I mean, you can be truly in love with somebody and worship the ground they walk on. But would you commit suicide because they unfortunately had unfortunate death? I find hard to believe to say that. Okay, you said that. Oh, you knew your mother better than your mother knew herself.
Well,
that part that she would not want to live if
knowing that her sons had killed their father, so we'll kill you.
Well, they could have hired somebody to do it too, though. They didn't have to do it.
Oh, he didn't just.
Wait a minute. There are a
lot of ways against the law too to hire somebody to kill somebody else.
What they did was against the law,
right?
So to say, okay, I mentioned this and say, well, it's not against the law. What they did was against the law too, though.
Right, but still,
wait a minute. Let
me ask you this: with all of the, all of the stuff that's been coming out now about the newfound letter from that he wrote to his cousin, the young guy from the boy band, and said he was sexually assaulted inside of the Menendez's home.
Yes,
and he came forward. Do you believe that these two new pieces of evidence would warrant them being resentenced for a premeditated murder of their father, and then on the spur, a manslaughter charge of killing their mother?
No. I mean, in my opinion, I would say not, because women, I can understand and sympathize with you about your father. I don't understand and sympathize with you about your mother, because you make the assumption that your mother could not live without the father. I mean, people do live without other people when they die. I mean, because all the time you don't have a choice in them passing. So therefore, saying that you would just want to kill yourself or take your life because that's person died.
That would be the same thing. Kill yourself or take your life.
The fact that you want to do this, that you're saying that your mother would have that did this.
Right.
And
That you could prerequisite and say, well,
so you spared her the grief.
But you killed your mother. And what they've done is they got a word for it. It's called patricide.
But the fact that you killed your mother because you were upset about your father. I mean, no, I didn't live in the household, so no, I can never honestly, truly know what caused all that.
And I don't. Maybe I know this is me. I remember listening to the 911 call.
Okay.
When they called in, it was so phony. That right there, that's enough. The first red flag for me. That doesn't sound like somebody who's grieving that their parents have been killed. It just did not. It seemed very extremely contrived.
Well,
I think they planned to kill their father.
It had to be contrived because you did plan this murder,
right?
So it wasn't like you all of a sudden you looked at your brother and say, "Let's do this.
Go get that shotgun out the gun case." Dad doesn't have a gun case. We go to the store, go to the gun shop, and we get us 2 guns. We get 2 shotguns, and we're gonna blow them both away. Really?
Women, but what they were saying, to my knowledge, because I don't remember all the details now, and that's always a bad thing not to know the details when you're talking about something. Sometimes, in this particular case, because when it happened, okay. From what I recall, is they said that they took the mother's life because they said that she wouldn't be able to live, without the father.
I heard that same crap.
Okay.
Stuff.
But the fact that you're saying now, after 35 years, because of the abuse that they received along the way,
they should be allowed to get out of jail. Really?
But how many other people that women?
I've had less offenses that are still in jail. We still got men and women in jail on drug trafficking, marijuana, and now it's not a controlled substance anymore. And you're not letting them out of jail. These guys killed their mother and father.
Women, but when you mentioned marijuana, women, that's a two-edged sword. In so many states, they made it legal, but the federal government still considered it a controlled drug.
Well, the bullheadedness of the.
Well, no. What it tells you is that you have a two-tiered system, because on one hand, they say if you're on the airplane and you have marijuana on you, it becomes a federal case, not a state case.
Because you went across state lines or whatever.
And being an airplane, you're flying. You no longer, say if you in California and you had the drugs on you. Once you fly out of California and you go, say, to Arkansas, okay.
The rules change and might not be the same as in California.
Would they allow you to have marijuana? Okay. So if you got busted and there, they would try you on there. But the fact that you took the marijuana onto the plane, that becomes a federal offense.
That is
being on the plane. Wait a minute. See, you have to
Snakes
know the laws.
On the plane, a joint on the plane.
You have to know the laws, because different things, control other things. And in their particular case, the
Menendez
brothers, they're saying that they did what they did because they couldn't take what was happening to them, that their father to threaten them, if y'all try to leave, if you leave.
Tell anybody. They might have told you better not tell your mother.
Well, more than likely he did. See, that's what I'm saying, that you can know and not know. Okay, so wait a minute. When I say you can know and not know, okay, she knew something was happening when the sons was in the room with the father. Okay, wait a minute. She was not in the room with them. So to actually say, I know what's happening. No, wait a minute. She can assume what's happening. Does that mean that she know what's happening? No. It means that, okay, now, did the sons ever come out and tell us? See, that's another thing. Because they killed the mother, you'll never know if they ever actually told the mother what was going on.
Or if she believed them or did not believe them. They don't know anything.
I said if she ever told them. Because if she told them, then the mother said, okay, well, I'm just turning my head because this is my husband, about what's happening to you.
And the marital vows do say, believing on him and forsake everyone and cleave only unto him.
But you can still go to jail. But you can still go to jail for doing something to someone even under that. The fact that
because there's a provision that spouses can't testify, don't have to testify against.
But you can though.
But you
wait a
can.
minute, it doesn't stop you. Wait a minute. See.
But that spouse has to make that decision.
Yes, the individual makes that decision because we all are individuals. Both of the brothers were individuals. Both of them came together and decided, okay, because of what was happening to us, I'm going to. These are the actions that we should take together, because the two of them came in there and killed their parent. So it wasn't one of them saying, okay,
and that's
I don't
a
like
conspiracy. A conspiracy to commit murder.
Yeah.
You thought about you went to the gun store, you bought shotguns.
But you could have went to the police.
You could have went to the police department.
You could have went directly to the police department and informed them of what was going on.
This is going on. And let them go from the legal point of view.
And let the police department handle the situation. So there are more than one way.
So these are the consequences of their actions. Do you believe that they should be allowed to come out of prison after 35 years because the aunts and the uncles and the grandpas on both sides said, oh, they done some real good stuff in the prison. They got college degrees, they taught people, they ministered to people. Well, what the heck else you got to do in prison for the rest of your life?
I mean, there's nothing wrong. Okay, wait a minute. There's nothing. I mean, I commend.
There's nobody around to say you didn't do this.
Okay, wait a minute. I commend them for getting a degree. I could commend them for helping other prisoners while they were in prison. I mean, because you do one bad,
you don't deserve to get out of prison.
Because you did one bad thing does not mean that you can't do a good thing. Wait a minute. They were in prison, so they were doing good things in prison.
How much worse can you do than killing your parents, killing your children?
Wait a minute. The point that I'm making is that on why they're even suggesting that they sentence be changed is because they're saying, okay, yeah, they did something truly horrible, but while they were in jail, they started doing good things. Well, I mean, they weren't like they could go someplace else and do something. I mean, we already saw when before they went to jail, they was all living up the
life O'Reilly.
So I mean,
Rolex
now would that have kept going if they never went to jail?
No.
Would they have actually helped anybody? And I see this is the one thing that most of us will never know. Now they talk about how while they were in prison, they went and got their bachelor's degree. That they were in there helping other people, which I commend them for all of that. But what I'm asking the question is,
that's on the taxpayers' dime. I'm not commending them for any of that. Go ahead on.
I'm saying commending them for what they did in prison, because that's what they asked for them to be released is because of what they did.
They've been rehabilitated. There's no chance of recidivism.
Well,
no chance of them going out and harming anybody.
Well, you don't know that.
Not a danger to themselves or anybody else.
But you don't know that.
You killed your parents. I wouldn't trust you to be out here in society.
That you can fear something else happening. I mean, the fact that I understand about if you said you want to commute their sentence, now you believe what they say was happening with their father. That to me, how did that justify what you did to your mother? That you should be able to say, okay, I should get a pass on killing her.
Because I thought she couldn't live with what we had done and live with what our dad had done to both of us as we were growing up. So we'll just shoot her in the face.
I mean, because you think about it, she could have taken women. She could have taken and one day just got up and left. She could have took her and she would not have been the first woman that ever
picked up babies up out the bed, got the cats, got the dogs. Let's go.
Whether she got the cats and the dogs.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
That she took her. Wait a minute. That she got her two sons. Right. Wait a minute. If she knew that this was happening to her sons, and never once, wait a minute,
opened up her mouth and said she could have went to the authorities and said, "I need him to be brought up on charges because he's sexually assaulting our sons."
She could have. She could, there's a lot of things.
I don't believe she didn't know. Well, I do not believe that she did not know what was going on.
Was her punishment should have been death by the hands of her son?
That was not their call. That's why they should stay, in my opinion, they should stay in jail.
I mean,
they should stay in jail.
I think about it. When I think about it, why didn't the mother just take her kids and leave? The only reason why I honestly think that didn't happen more than anything else is because of the money.
Lifestyle and the money.
The money. I mean, you call it lifestyle. It was all because money provided all these things. Right, exactly. Gave them all these benefits. And you're saying, okay, I never, for as much as madness that was happening, I never thought it was enough madness to want to leave because I wanted to stay here because of the benefits that were coming.
So what if he had decided, Jose Menendez, what if he had decided that, you know what, I can't keep doing this. I'm just going to kill my wife and my sons because I can't be stopped. I know I'm a predator. I know I'm going to hurt them. So I'll hurt them before anybody else hurts them.
Well, I mean, he could have thought that too. I mean, see, we never know because,
right. I'm just speculating.
Right, I mean, that's speculation. I mean, just like I speculated on the fact that I didn't understand, why didn't the mother, when they were little boys, when she first, why didn't she take the kids and leave? I mean, there's family members.
Put him out.
Well, I mean, a lot, there's a lot of things that you think and believe that could have happened or maybe should have happened, avoiding actual murder, because I mean, you can't get up and leave. I mean, a lot of times people don't believe that they have a way out, and that is the truth.
And if that's been drilled into you day after day, year after year, you'd be nobody without me. I'm the reason why you are even in this upper echelon of the society. No, you're gonna do what I tell you to do when I tell you to do it, and that's bullying and just wanting to have control.
It's bullying and wanting to have control, but we all are individuals. But
when you were a kid,
I'm not trying to say because when they were a kid, they had no control.
Right.
Once you became 18. Whether you consider that as being an adult or not, when they was 18, they kind of got up and left. Even if they had to go out there and live on the street. Women. What about all these loving relatives?
What about all the loving relatives that are coming forward now saying, "Oh, we feel like they should be exonerated or whatever"? Not exonerated is not the word. We believe that their resentencing ought to occur because they've been there for 35 years. They went through hell and back with their father being such a predator and sexually molesting them and other people, and they've done their bidding.
Okay, but why did they come and rescue?
Go ahead on, say it. Let me shut up.
Okay, why didn't they come and rescue the sons? Because it's more than one way to rescue somebody. I mean, you didn't have to physically do it. You could have called the police. Women. Then that's one thing that, for as much as anybody want to say on their behalf, if you knew what was happening to the sons, why nobody stopped to at least think to have called the police?
And why didn't their cousin, I think they said it was Eric that brought his cousin a letter to tell him what was going on. Why didn't the cousin go to another adult and say,
he could have went to his parents? His own parents and said, wait a minute, this is what's happening to our cousin. Even if they didn't want to be the one to drop the dime.
The one to drop the dime. But you could do anonymous. See?
So I mean, it's easy now. I mean, because the father don't have a chance to defend himself, the mother doesn't have a chance to defend herself with these accusations that they're now saying that are true. Well, if these things were true, and the family members on both sides,
change.
Okay, wait a minute.
35 years, the truth didn't change.
The family members on both sides now want us to believe that they were aware of these horrible things that were happening, but nobody dropped a dime on him.
Nobody came to their rescue.
Well, that's dropping a dime.
Right.
Nobody thought to say, I would call children's services.
I know some street
that I would call children's services and report this. I mean, so everybody.
And you wait 35 years later?
Well, this 35 years later, I think the only reason why, and I mean, I'm just being honest, and what I think, the only reason, political, because Gascon is up for re-election, and he needs all the help that he can get. And I honestly believe he thinks this will be goodwill for him because of all the things that he all these other criminals that he's allowed to go free.
Especially snatch and grab people that's going in and do jewelry stores and busting up stores and
you're
these flash mob stealers, right?
And you let them right back out as quickly as they came in. That was your policy. And because you catch
Jackie don't look so bad now, does she?
And because of the fact that many people
think he's soft on crime.
Are soft on crime. Now all of a sudden you want to do this
high profile
to say, okay, look, this is a really high profile case. And
okay, wait, and don't forget they have two documentaries. One, I don't know if they're one is a made for TV. They're
They
called
got-
Monsters,
yeah.
the Lyle and Erik
Yes,
Menendez
yes.
brothers. And then there's another one, a documentary about them.
Yes.
So and watching this, it's just mind-boggling to me that all these people, all these many years ago, knew this. So where was the letter from Erik? What was it, behind a drawer up under a shoe in an old box with stuff? I mean, all of a sudden, and then you validate this. You validate the letter,
but
and
when
you
did
say
you find a letter?
Right,
the 35 years later.
That's what
35 years later. I mean,
you done moved like 11 times.
But when you were in court, you didn't bring up, whether you could have brought the letter up or not.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had your defense attorney to brought the young man in to come in and tell the truth.
Right.
Their parents were there, so it wasn't about you saying that you're fearful. But if you would have came in there and you would have said, okay, well, this is what happened, or that's and we're worried about the father, retaliating against you because you came in and spoke up. Women, why didn't you come at the trial? And you could have said, okay, my cousin,
trials, mind you, trials.
My cousin did tell this. Okay, now the Menudo young man, maybe he didn't do it because I'm assuming because he didn't want to mess up his career.
He could have been bullying him. They could have been bullying him.
But even if he was bullying, even if he was bullying you, then he bullied you even in death to the point that you wouldn't come and testify for these two young men and say, "Well, I know what they're saying.
Firsthand,
what was happening to them."
Nobody, maybe he did. Maybe he wanted to do what they always say. I don't want to get involved.
Well,
but
okay,
why you want to get involved?
35 years later, though. I mean, I think the opportunity is there because of Gaston and his needing to get reelected, and he's needing something that will.
If that's the case, I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for him if that's what the case is. I would not.
Well,
vote
I mean,
for him. Okay.
I just wonder why this 11th hour did it come up? That makes it really, strange that all this time, because you're saying that you didn't have this letter before just now to bring it up,
or the guy from Menudo
that could not have come up before now, though. I mean, so you let these two young men sit in prison for 35 years when this evidence was always there, or that wait a minute. Or did other district attorneys, now just think about this for a moment, the other district attorneys had the same information that you're accepting now, that that they rejected then, that the other women, because you've only been in office for 4 years. Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, now you put
the DA before you. Did the DA before that person? Did the DA before that person? Did the DA before that person? And these 35 years.
And they exhausted all of their appeals. So this is what you come up with.
So then you find something else. 35 years later. I mean, now you can't say that people don't find evidence later in life. I mean, just like the Innocent Project, where they go back and because they can do DNA, they do find out evidence that, okay, well, you said you had these fingerprints. And now that we check, we can find out, this DNA. We found out if this DNA actually really matched, even though back 30 years ago, you couldn't do this test. You couldn't have that test for that now. You had a test for that now. And that's why you're trying to get some people off their fraud. Okay. I'm asking because I don't recall, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. Did they have this letter? How long ago did they have this letter? When was this letter presented?
And when did
new evidence come up?
And when did the young man
from Menudo step up and say
why would you wait for 35 years?
I mean, so
okay,
that's a lot. That's a lot. But it's an election year, and I say he's doing it more to help himself get reelected.
Yeah. So speaking of an election year,
yes,
this is a great segue. We've seen all the craziness that's going on in politics, it's becoming down to the wire.
Yes.
And they're asking and begging us for money, these rich politicians. I personally have an issue with that. I have an issue with these politicians who continuously bombard our emails with, oh, let me tell you this about this state, or let me tell you, we just need you to chip in $4, $3, $100, $200 every single day. Oh, I'm hitting on the count. Okay, I got, and let me hold my hands down. And they're constantly asking. So one day I just set up and I said, let me go just see how much money they're asking. People who are on a limited income, people who can barely, keep food on their table, keep their lights on, keep their medications going. How I don't understand why y'all keep asking us for that, for our hard-earned money, and we catching hell trying to make ends. People robbing Peter to pay Paul, but these rich politicians are writing us every day in an email. Oh, friends, I don't want to ask you this, but I gotta tell you, we what $3? Can you match our $3? Okay, if you're getting $3 from 300 million people, why are you asking us to pay for your campaign? This is what you wanted to do. This is a choice you made to be a public citizen, and you already rich. Wait a minute, you already got money. Why you keep asking us for money? Why are you asking people who are on a fixed income, give me $3, give me $5. Then they get down to the $4.78. This is what our donors are getting. We're a grassroots organization. Okay, but you asking us to take food off our table, money out of our pocket, medicine that we need to sustain our health, and then you say, oh, just send me $5. Wait a minute, can I just get on the soapbox? Because I'm just really upset about y'all keep asking people every single day for $1 every day. That's $30 a month. That's medication people can't pay for. What are y'all doing with the money that you're asking people for? People talking about, oh, we got these super PACs and they're raising hundreds of millions of dollars, but you keep asking people for $3? Okay, I'm off.
Well, first thing, you don't have to send it.
I don't.
Okay, wait a minute. Because they're asking does not mean that you have to reciprocate and give it. I mean, if you're looking at them and say that they're wealthy and you don't feel that they should be asking you for money, then you simply can keep your money in your pocket.
I do.
They do this because this is something that people have decided to do because they want to help one side or the other, a candidate one way or the other get elected. They want to help one measure or ballot proposal to get passed, so they help to contribute to pay for airtime.
And some of these ads are so convoluted. But they mix the words around. Okay. One group says vote for this, vote for this one. Prop so and so and such and such. Don't vote for this one. Prop so and so and such and such. And then when you see them together, that's why it's important, people. It is important for you to read the literature that your state, your local government, your federal government sends you about voting and who's voting and what the measures are and where their position is. Don't just go in there all willy-nilly like, oh, I'm just going to vote for them because they're a Democrat, or I'm just going to vote for them because they're a Republican, or I'm just not going to vote at all. That's the most dangerous one. When you don't take the time to understand and realize that you have a voice in this, and for you not to get up and say, I don't want to vote. Okay, you don't want to vote, then you don't want to have any participation, so you don't get to say what happens to the roads and the infrastructure and the school measures and the property taxes. But this is the same things, same issues that you're going to have to deal with, whether you vote for them or not. Okay, now let's see what they got on up here on the Houston. Okay, AE Groove old school music. I donate because anything to keep that demented maniac from running the damn country. I figure knocking on everybody's doors to vote for them and staying touchable to the people. Now, usually I don't care. This time it's important. I don't want that monster as president.
I agree 100%. And I mean, it's a choice that each individual makes. Mm-hmm. If you have money to donate to a campaign, then you do it. If you don't, then you don't do it. I mean, it's not going to stop the campaign from going forward. Now, for them, because they ask for help, and you say, well, if you're wealthy, why are you asking me for help? It's like anybody else. I would hope that nobody, absolutely nobody, wait a minute, instead of paying for your medication, you would send that $5 to a candidate. Now, something's wrong with you. Wait a minute. Because if you're not there, what good are you? If I take my $5 instead of get my medicine, and I sent that $5 to you, now I don't have my medicine. What happens to me? Would that candidate probably even know that I did that? More than likely not. So it wouldn't make sense for anybody to take, if they don't have that extra $5, $3, $100, $50, whatever they're asking for you to donate to their campaign. If you honestly don't have it, then don't do it. Don't do it and hurt yourself. I mean, there's
a lot of the MAGA people, that's happened to them.
Okay, well,
one guy. Okay, but wait a minute. This one guy, just for the sake of the conversation, he was, back east, and he was in one of those corn countries like Iowa, Okay, but anyway, he had $330,000 in his retirement fund.
Okay.
When he looked at his records, he had been just really focused on donating to the 45th president's campaign. Okay. To the point he gave away all of his money. Now he got to live in a trailer on his daughter's property because he's lost everything to this guy.
Well, he didn't lose.
He gave it away. He gave it away. He gave it away. Okay.
He willingly donated to the campaign.
Yeah, he did.
That was his choice. Yeah. But then his daughter should have been asking dad, wait a minute.
Why are you doing
wait a minute. It's not that you shouldn't have donated, because I'm not saying he should not have donated. But donated to the point where now you're financially broke. No, the daughter
financially ruined.
Okay, financially ruined.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a better term. I don't look at it being financial, because he still has the trailer. He can sell the trailer, so he's not financially ruined. He gave away he gave away the majority of his savings to help somebody else.
His retirement.
But that was his choice to do it. He was a sound mind and body when he did it. And they said, well, why would he do it? Because that's what he believed. Okay, and there's nothing wrong for him believing that. See, I'm not mad because he believed in that, or saying that he shouldn't, because whether I agree with the person that he gave it to or not, if you chose that you wanted to give it to them and that made you feel better, and you were not looking at your own financial situation while you were doing it, then that's why I said, where was his daughter at when he was making these donations? Now, why did she step up and say, Dad, wait a minute, you can love him ever so much, but he says he's a billionaire. Would you want to give all of your savings to a billionaire? I mean, and if this billionaire happened to know that you gave him all of your life savings, has he wrote you a check to give you your money back?
Or even acknowledged you as a donor?
Well, he might be. If you're not, what difference does it matter that you acknowledge me as a donor when you're telling me, when I'm saying now I'm financially broke because I donated to you? I mean, see, because again, I think even that person on the other side who received that $300 gift would say, wait a minute, I got $300,000 from somebody because they wanted to see me be reelected. They believe in me that much. But now they're financially, strapped because of that. Maybe I might be wanting to give them their money back or give them some of it back.
That's a really insane thought. Because it is. Wow. Because all these people that stormed the Capitol, where people lost their lives to overturn an election that he lost, he's screaming and hollering. These people are here losing their life. He ain't put up bail for one person. He ain't visited one person. He even said they were stupid. They were stupid. Wait a minute.
And
he was in Detroit.
He also said he's going to pardon money and all that. He said if he get elected, he will pardon him.
No.
Yes, he did. He did say that. And he will, because he can.
He also said that he was going to turn the military on the enemy within. He talked about the people in the United States of America, the people who he says is a threat to democracy. He's a threat to democracy. His whole mindset is a threat to democracy. And people are listening to this. He left. Wait a minute. Out here in California, I'm sure the people around the world have heard of the Coachella Valley Festival. It is huge. It is just like over 2 weekends. A scabillion people are there, and make a long story short, look it up, Google it. Okay, so a lot of people, some of his MAGA supporters, they were told they couldn't drive into the venue. They had to be bussed in. They had to park their cars, and they had to be bussed in. Okay. And then they had to be bussed out. Well, when the if you
Rally
could,
was over.
or if that's what you could call it, when it was over, a couple buses or how many came to pick up some of them, and they didn't come and pick up the rest of them. They left hundreds of people, senior citizens, on walkers, in wheelchairs, on canes, neuropathy, sciatica, diabetes. All these people are left out here in the cold for hours. For hours. I haven't heard anything about that on the news.
What did I hear? I mean, but the fact that, I mean, it went from,
and so he's telling you, he's showing you, I will leave you out in the cold. And if, like
Okay,
you
so
said,
what
if they come, when they get back
Okay,
home
but
and they
that
go
was their
vote for
choice.
him, that's their choice.
that was their choice. I mean, so
Okay, well, here's another one. Speaking of choice, I want to talk about this quickly.
Okay, because I mean, that's still their choice. They chose to go out there. You know, if they still vote for him after being stranded, that is their choice. I mean, you had a freedom. Wait a minute, everybody had free will. If your free will still said that you want to vote for this man after he left you stranded in the desert, then that's your free will to do it. If you wanted to say, wait a minute, this is really not the person that I thought he was, because I would never imagine that he would have left me stranded out here in the desert, then maybe you won't vote for him. But that is you decide. I mean, it's the same thing when we talk about our first topic. They had a choice about either to kill their parents or leave. And they chose to kill their parents. That was a choice they made. There's a choice that these people made when they went out there to hear him speak.
I don't think they thought that they would be stranded.
Okay, no, they didn't think they no, and I know they didn't think that. But the fact that they were, now, if you don't go back and tell other people this is what happened to you, and other people have a chance to find out for sure if that's what's going on or not, well then, hey, that's still you having to make that decision on what you want to do or not do.
And it is a choice.
Yes, it truly is a choice. It is.
No matter what it is.
All of it was choices. And bad choices are good choices.
I want to give a big shout out to Serena Williams, 23 champion. She done won a Scabillion tennis awards. And I want to thank you very much, Serena, for speaking up and taking care of yourself. She found she had a cyst on her neck.
Yes.
And the doctors told her, don't even be worried about it. It'll be okay. We got you. And this was back in May where she first noticed it. Well, the other day, the doctors told her what you need to do is you need to get this off of you. And I know what that's like, because she had a bronchial cyst. I get sebaceous cyst. And so I know what that's like. And you think it's not going to be anything. And then it grows and grows and grows. I got one right here on my shoulder right now that I got to go get removed, because they say it's benign, but it still can be very dangerous. We want to know what the deal is. And her cyst had grown to the size of a small grapefruit. And she stayed in great shape. And she's got this this cyst on her neck, so she had to drain. And the fact that she took a proactive approach, and that's what we have to do. And especially our younger women, remember, your health is the best. Let it be the best that you can be. Take good care of yourselves and your bodies. And so many women, especially young women, I remember being young and I thought I was superhuman. Hell, I thought I could fly. I took my mama good bed sheet, tied it around my neck, and jumped off the roof. And the first thing she said, she didn't say, well, baby, are you all right? Did you break anything? She went, I know you're behind did not use my good sheets to jump off a roof. Okay, well, I learned that I couldn't fly that day.
And also use good sheets. You learned two things that day, not just one, two. You knew that if you jumped off the roof again, you not to use those good sheets.
Oh, I didn't listen. I'm only a fool for one thing one time. Okay, after that, I'll go to some other food.
90 seconds.
The fact that she said this was important, the fact that you were willing to share your story with us.
Yes.
Because when you could put clothes on and wear a turtleneck or whatever, cover it up, the fact that you came out and you let people know that this is what was happening to you. Big kisses to you, Serena. Big kisses. We thank you so much. Because a lot of women, don't want to talk about their health. Well, and if you don't take care of your body when you get to be my age, this sucker gonna double cross you. Take care of yourself.
Well, that is something that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In case people are not aware, this is next month is Diabetes Awareness Month. Right. I mean, we have a lot of ailments out there, and we do need more people to pay attention and be more conscious about their health, and because you don't expect somebody else to be more concerned about your health than you are. That's the first thing. Because if you have something's wrong with you and you don't go to the doctor, or you don't call somebody or get help, then
or ignore it. Oh, it
that'll go away.
Okay,
I mean, a lot of people say hopefully it'll go away because I can't afford to go to the doctor. Well, sometimes you can't afford not to go to the doctor.
And oftentimes we can do something properly to help ourselves. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. A quite lively conversation. And remember, thank you, E Groove, and everybody that chimed in with us. I am Mother Lover. Remember this: no matter how big or tall, short or small, thick or thin, it matters not what skin your